Support for this podcast comes from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative, connecting communities with the resources, infrastructure, and networks to ensure a vibrant local free press.
From KVPR in Fresno, this is Central Valley Daily. Happy Friday, it's March 27th. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. This weekend, dozens of bull riders from across the country will compete in Fresno.
So how it works, we have to ride them for 8 seconds for the rider to get a score. The bull, once it comes out of the chute, it's going to get a score.
Today we speak with a professional bull rider and learn what it takes to master this dangerous sport. But first, these headlines. The California State Senate formally voted on Thursday to rename Cesar Chavez Day to Farm Workers Day. Governor Gavin Newsom is expected to sign the legislation when it lands on his desk. This change follows sexual abuse allegations that came to light against Chavez last week. The state has historically honored Chavez on March 31st. Counties and cities quickly moved to strip Chavez's name from public view. The Fresno Unified School District plans to lay off hundreds of employees in order to save money. The district says it is addressing a deficit of more than $70 million. Teachers in the district raised concerns at a public meeting last night, and the teachers' union also pushed back. They took to social media this week to suggest that the district is trying to settle a defamation case. The union publicly questioned whether that is influencing the district's decision. The district says it covers such legal expenses through insurance. California Assembly Republicans are calling on the legislature to address the state's affordability crisis. They argue that high costs are being driven by government policies and excessive spending. Assemblymember David Tongipa of Fresno said during a press conference this week that California doesn't have a revenue problem, it has a spending problem.
We have record corporate income tax revenue, and the state has seen record revenue, and yet we have a budget issue. That is a clear reflection that what California and the legislators that are in charge of this state is doing is not working.
Republican lawmakers outlined a package of bills they say would provide relief, including eliminating taxes on tips and overtime, suspending the state gas tax, and creating a tax credit for farmers. The tax cut proposals come as the state faces an $18 billion budget shortfall, according to the Legislative Analyst's Office. Merced County education officials are asking the community to take advantage of early childhood education programs. KVPR's Rachel Livenall reports.
The officials say a child's education prior to entering kindergarten is crucial. Members of the Merced County Office of Education laid out several options for children younger than age 5. They include federal and state-funded preschool programs and transitional kindergarten. Vanessa Miniger manages childhood education at the county office. She says parents do want more options, but districts also need more funding.
If we can put money behind going down to 3-year-olds and being able to have a system that supports families and gets them that care that they need, along with that quality educational aspect, that's the direction that we'd really like to see everyone go in.
The county is rolling out bilingual information about all of its programs to get the word out. For KVPR News, I'm Rachel Livenall.
The city of Fresno is currently without an independent police auditor. Our newsroom partner Fresno Land reports that the position has been vacant for 9 months since the previous auditor retired. In that time, the city has not issued quarterly reports about police activity, such as shootings and complaints. The reports help ensure compliance with state and federal laws.
KVPR's podcast, Central Valley Daily, is proud to be the Valley's only daily news podcast. And what better way to show your support for local news than to join us at Corks and Brews, KVPR's Beer and Wine Festival. We'll have live music, food trucks, and a silent auction, all along the gorgeous San Joaquin River. The event is Sunday, May 3rd, and tickets are $75. Get yours at kvpr.org. We can't wait to see you there.
And now to our main story. 8 seconds may not seem very long, unless you're on top of a bucking bull. That'll be the case tonight for the competitors in the Professional Bull Riders Velocity Tour at Fresno's Save-Mart Center. Turns out it's not just the riders who are considered competitors. The bulls are too. They're considered animal athletes, and they're scored alongside the riders who dare to mount them. Edgardo Figueroa came to the KVPR studios to tell us more about this sport. He looks about how you might expect a bull rider to look. Jeans, a tucked-in shirt and belt, with a Western hat he graciously tipped as we shook hands. Like many riders, he says the urge to ride bulls came from an early age.
To be honest, I feel like you have to be born with the want for this sport, because I don't think anyone going to school is gonna say, "Yeah, let me try to become a bull rider when I grow up." Ever since I could walk and talk, it's all I've ever wanted to do. So, thanks be to God that I'm here living the dream.
Okay, I want to start really basic here and talk about the sport of bull riding, because I don't think it's something that's widely understood. So first of all, what's the difference between the bull riding competition versus going to something like a rodeo or horse racing? What's actually happening in the arena?
Well, I know specifically with the PBR, we have different standards and rules and regulations towards the animal athletes. Apart from that, with the PBR, it's just bull riding. Whereas to rodeos, there's different events in it. And it's the top animal athletes, which are the bulls, against the top riders. They don't just let anyone kind of go and say who wants to get on, it's the top athletes against the top animal athletes.
Okay, when you say animal athletes, you're referencing the bulls.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah,
so...
they definitely deserve the respect.
Okay, well, what makes a good animal athlete?
Well, they love to do this just like we love to do it. You can't force an animal that heavy to do anything. I know the stock contractors feed them very well. They have their good diets, and they go out and let them graze in the pasture and walk them around, and maybe let them get exercises and whatnot. But once they know the trailer's coming along because they're going to go to an event, they load up themselves. They go running.
Wow. Because I'm sure you probably hear from people who are worried about the welfare of the bulls at events like this.
No, of course. And I don't blame them. We care a lot for these animal athletes as well, which is why the PBR has such good rules and regulations towards them, and even rules on their traveling, like how far they're able to travel each day. They're not going to travel more than certain hours and stuff like that. And also where they're being kept during the event. That's important too. They pick out a good place where they're going to be fed very well.
Nice. Okay. Well, that makes me think. We've talked about animal athletes and then, of course, the bull riders. Tell us about the scoring, because I understand there is a bit of, as you mentioned, a matchup between the rider and the bull, but they're scored separately, right?
So we're scored together, but we're also scored separate. So how it works, we have to ride them for 8 seconds for the rider to get a score. The bull, once it comes out of the chute, it's going to get a score, whether we last 1 second or 8 seconds. But for the rider to get a score, we have to last 8 seconds, and that's where our score comes from. It's from 0 to 50.
Okay.
And then the bull score is 0 to 50 as well. But when the rider accomplishes the 8 seconds, we get the combined score. So it'd be, let's say I score 40 points and the bull scores 40 points, then I would get 80 points. But the bull, even whether I buck off or not, he's going to still score 40 points.
Okay. And when you say he scored once he comes out of the gate, what's the criteria? What are judges looking at?
So the judges are looking for how hard they kick, how fast they spin, how difficult they are to be rode, and what's the other? How hard they buck.
Okay.
Yeah, so the intensity level.
Yes. And just again, to boil this down like really bare bones, when you say how hard they buck, that's them trying to get the rider off of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell us about what that's like for you to be on the bull, and first of all, just like what's going in your head when you're going in to compete in an event like that.
Well, to be honest, when I get to an arena, I'm extremely thankful to God, because I couldn't do this without him. And it's definitely a blessing to be able to do what you love.
Mm-hmm.
But just trying to hang on to them big old suckers. I mean, I love it. And I love one that's kind of difficult to ride, because you're going to get a good score. So I mean, the score is 0 to 100. So the closer to 100 you get, the harder it is for the other riders to try to catch up to you. So the better they buck, run them in, and we'll get a good score.
Okay, so that's like almost a good thing. If you get a bull that's really intense, you're like, okay, this is going to be hard, but it's going to get me a good score if I can hang on.
Exactly.
How common is it for people to, is the term buck off or fall off? Like, what's the term if you don't last the 8 seconds?
Yeah, the term would be buck off. I mean, it's likely, but at the same time, there's a lot of great riders. So like this event that's coming up, the PBR Fresno, they bring the top riders. So it's more likely you're going to see a ride than a buck off.
Okay, interesting. That's good for the crowd to know. Tell me a little bit about what it takes to get on the bull. I mean, there's a saddle, right?
No, ma'am.
No saddle?
It's just our bull rope. We have our boots and PBR-approved spurs. The glove, so we don't rip the skin off of our hands off. Our protective vest, our chaps, and helmet.
And how do you train for something like this? I don't imagine you're jumping on bulls every day of the week. I mean, the risk of injury is so high.
So a couple days a week, I'll get on practice bulls. So it'll be animal athletes, but just of a much lesser caliber.
Okay.
They'll come out slower. They won't buck as intense. They won't be as fast. And it just kind of tunes up all of the moves, all of the reaction time, and builds a lot of confidence. But apart from getting on practice bulls, it's day in, day out. I mean, going to the gym, working on the leg strength by getting on horses, just doing mental visualization exercises, dieting.
And what's at stake? I mean, are people winning prize pots of money, or why is it worthwhile?
Oh, there's definitely a lot of money out there to be won, but I think more than that, it's being able to know that you did the best you can and you did conquer these animal athletes. Me personally, I mean, I don't care about the money. It helps, obviously, but when I win a PBR World Championship, that's going to be the major prize for me. But at a lot of these events, there's thousands of dollars to be won. If you win a World Championship, you get $1 million bonus.
Wow.
So there's a lot of money and buckles and whatnot to be won, but I think it's more just being able to know you're one of the best.
Professional bull rider Edgardo Figueroa, thank you so much for coming to the studios.
Thank you. Appreciate it, and hope to see everyone March 27th and 28th at the Save-Mart Center. Friday it starts at 8 p.m. and Saturday at 7. Tickets can be bought at pbr.com or ticketmaster.com.
And that is today's show. Today's episode was produced by Jonathan Linden and KVPR with support from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. Find the latest local news anytime at kvpr.org.
This is Tanya Mosley, co-host of Fresh Air. You'll see your favorite actors, directors, and comedians on late-night TV shows or YouTube. But what you get with Fresh Air is a deep dive. Spend some quality time with people like Billie Eilish, Questlove, Ariana Grande, Stephen Colbert, and so many more. We ask questions you won't hear asked anywhere else. Listen to the Fresh Air podcast from NPR and WHYY.